guys, my name is Games, and welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa. Where we last left off, we just started the 5th trial of the game. This is the next to last chapter, actually. And before I begin, Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, when I'm recording this, comes out tomorrow, the 27th. I'm recording it the 26th. This is the 26th. So Ultra Despair Girls will run alongside this game. This game's almost done, so I think after I finish this one, I'm going to start the Evil Within, and then after one of them is done, I'll do Danganronpa 2, because I'm eager to get to that game again. I love Danganronpa 2. I like it a lot more than this one. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I'm not going to say it now, in case people haven't seen this, like, any of this series. So, anyways, going in the middle of, we're in Chapter 5. We are trying to figure out who the body is, who killed this person, pretty much exactly like the other trial. So, I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh yeah, because Toko doesn't believe that we put the fire, like, doesn't believe about the fire, because she was blown up.
I admit nothing.
See, I have a lot more bullets and shit.
No! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me?
Because I'm gonna need these bullets. That's why I switched to this, file. Because I'm gonna need them.
Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing.
And I am excited for Ultra Despair Girls to come out. I haven't finished that game myself. I was on like the last chapter, second to last chapter.
How can you say it? This should prove it.
Because I'm not sure ever, like, what ones they want me to, like, go cycle through the bullets, or what ones they don't want me to.
Just remember
like,
what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
Yeah, because first we had to tell Hiro that it wasn't Kyoko, and the Kyoko that was there wasn't a ghost, because he didn't believe, and then she didn't know about the body being, she doesn't even remember the body being exploded, like, because she was Genocide Jack.
The reason only
so, I mean, she's just...
was because...
So it's like we're literally getting nowhere right now.
I doused it with water, but only the part on fire, the top half.
Then Toko's like,
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
oh, we were trying to figure out what time the murder took
Didn't
place.
get the body wet. Then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Which, if you remember, we were in our room and we were attacked by somebody.
Good for you.
Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. And I remember being so against Kyoko in this game, which would mean that Muro's killer is... Oh, so they know it is Mukuro. No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Yes.
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind
But she's
behind
not
everything.
wrong.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
I'm pretty sure if she killed someone, she would
no
expect to
alibi,
go into a
okay?
trial, because that's the
I
rules.
think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something at the scene was used to cover the body? Could it have been...
I got it! Yeah. You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that.
So wait, the dirt...
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the
How does
side
that
got
make
covered
sense,
in water.
though? Wouldn't the side that got dirty, shouldn't it be touching the
The
body?
side that faced down over the body, meanwhile,
And that should be
Perfectly
clean because... water?
this proves that the
I don't
killer
know.
used the tarp to keep the body
Whatever.
from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
It's like, freaking... Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Actually, I think this is the first... Maybe this is the only time you actually go against Kyoko and actually destroy one of her things.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the bottom, of course it didn't get dirty.
Oh, so... Okay, so it's heroes. Okay. Because it should be... If it's touching the body, it should be bloody.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
It'd
If
take
they
too much
had,
time,
they
though.
would have washed both sides.
No,
Just
yeah, that's
washing
true.
the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
The blood was... camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... That poor chicken! That poor chicken. But the thing is, they never explained what happened to the chicken. So I assume they threw it into the plant and let the plant eat it. That's my...
When I checked the chicken
You know.
coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, You're saying...
Oh my god, I saw this thing. It was so stupid. It's like these things, like this shit people do that's so stupid. It was this woman cooked medium rare chicken strips.
They should have at least eaten.
So it was still technically raw chicken, and she's like, "Oh, I can't wait to eat this." It's like, "Oh my god, you're an idiot! Don't eat it."
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Looks like he was wearing it
Then that
backwards.
settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body.
Yeah, but it would still take
They'd
a
be done in
while.
no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall,
True though.
did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother
Fuck
saying
you,
it's not
Kyoko.
possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is
Making me seem like I'm the
Makoto's
killer.
alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
No.
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Yeah.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went
Oops.
all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
No.
That's
No.
what I thought when I
No.
first saw it.
No. No. No.
I just
No.
remembered.
You didn't see it anywhere. Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So, what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what exactly happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Yeah, but they're all wondering like how out of nowhere this 16th student just popped out of nowhere. And they're like, oh, it's the mastermind, and it's not the mastermind.
Lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Apparently.
Getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Oh, no.
So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her
No.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
It's, I actually shot it. We've already established, okay.
The knife we found,
It's the same one we gave.
it really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic, well,
Getting stabbed is what killed
No?
her, right?
No, I thought, okay.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave.
It really is, isn't it?
if he did have that knife, that seals
I
it.
swear it's something he
Because I had
says.
that automatically, well,
Getting stabbed is what killed
No.
her. So there's no question.
It's not
You
what
took
killed
that
her.
knife of yours and killed
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means that when the knife was stuck through the coat into the body,
The knife we found,
It's the same one we
Oh.
gave to Makoto.
it is what
If he did have
Hero
that seals
says.
it. Just because I had that automatic, well,
Getting stabbed.
There we go.
no, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body,
The knife was already there.
the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
I got it! The
look at
Monokuma
your file, man.
clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
then the knife,
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
There goes
Exploding the body
Togo.
afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
oh hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to
Yeah,
use,
yeah, be
you'd
nice.
know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
I
No.
might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. Okay, so
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled
Thing is-
Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
How did they get the bomb to the
explosion was
max?
because of the Monokuma bomb.
So
Anyway,
fat, like, you know, without
Havoc
being
motive is
seen.
becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover up and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Sterling leaves.
Then shall we continue that the victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Okay.
No, it's wrong.
Yeah, those other wounds don't come into play just yet.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her
That
with
would
the
be
handle.
almost impossible, man.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Okay, kids.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this
Come
time.
on, kids.
Seriously?
We
Back-
will
back to
figure
the
out
topic
what
at
killed her,
hand.
right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you.
Why is
produced
it always
the real
me?
murder weapon?
The real murder weapon.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. The duct tape.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Sorry.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Just get smaller and smaller.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway,
Kind of goes with our
that
current
explains
situation,
the murder
doesn't it?
weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
Oh no. Say shh.
Because we have
Don't
proof,
lie to me,
of course.
bitch.
Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have the evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be connected to that dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something.
Why were you in my room?
You were in my room, weren't you?
And Makoto, why do you
What were you
keep
doing
keeping it unlocked? Why do you keep doing
That's
this?
what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me? The complete opposite of what Sayaka was gonna do. She's gonna kill someone and blame it on you.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Yakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? She couldn't get into her room. How would she put the block in her room? Well, she has a thing. She technically has a skeleton key to get in.
Those words you just spoke.
But he doesn't know
What do
that.
you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Yakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
You have to shoot that.
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just said.
Exactly, I'm not the killer. You should understand.
Byakuya.
What are you after when you never hide?
There's proof that you aren't.
No.
It's like, how can you forget you did that? Like... Come on, man.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. Ugh. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. And you gotta let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And
She's got a
Kyoko
point.
said it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
When have we now?
So we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
It's gonna be death! Death! Death for the... What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it. Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the average class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills, chills,
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect
You
you,
don't-
to forgive
oh.
me. I know this is all my fault.
It is all your fault. Kyoko.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's
Except,
punishment
instead of like
time!
backing me up and saying, yes, there's something up with this whole trial, you're just like, sorry. I think this has to be one of the more terrifying, one of the more terrifying punishments, because that's what's gonna happen to you. So you're just sitting there, waiting and waiting, and it's just like, oh god, I don't think I could ever. Oh my god, I think I would piss myself, because it's just that weight. Like with the other ones, it was either really quick or they saw it coming easily, but this one, it's like you don't know how close you're getting, because it's behind you, you're facing away from it, and all you just hear is it continuously, just, oh. I'm telling you how conception works. Just, oh god, I can't imagine how someone has to feel with that going on behind you, like, just, Alter Ego's like, fuck it, I'm not gonna let my friend die. I'm trying to think. I think in this game there's two trials that you are claimed to be the Blackened, but I think in the second one there's only one. Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, what's that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell! I don't believe this!
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning. What was that? What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. He waits away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other
Now it's the
words,
masterminds that's ensnared. What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. And this is the end of chapter 5. It goes like, oh crap. It's the beginning of the game again. You're not missing much. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They said that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years in tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. Because in the anime, they said they were trying to build more of these. They were trying to build more schools, because there was only one Hope's Peak. And then, forget his name, but the short white-haired guy in the third anime, or Danganronpa 3, he was building another one, and that's where the Future Foundation was put. And there are 2 things you need to attend the school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? I look at the corner, you can see the punishment rocket. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then, I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell! It was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered it all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. With that, my pursuit of survival began. First step was to start looking for a way out of here. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be easy. Well, I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink? Which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Rude! Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells...
This place smells awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you! I snatched the bread and water she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. That really hit the spot. I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. I hate that it pulls you away. It's like, I know she has more to say, so just keep it going. But Kyoko, why do you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no. To atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Havoc Peak Academy for one very important reason. So, have you some reason for coming to Havoc Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible! Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's
I
right.
fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they will interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked together, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, You were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal is.
Yeah, I just realized too the other day that
It's
for this game, I will probably have about half the amount of episodes that had the original Let's Play, because in the original one, I think I hung out with people and showed it, and then like halfway through I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, skip. So I think I equaled up to like almost 50 episodes. I think the second one was over, I think it was like 55 for the second one. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective? Which is kind of cool because in the new one coming out, there's an ultimate detective. A lot of people were pissed off about that, but it's like, you can reuse them. There's like, what, Makoto's the ultimate lucky student, and so is Nagito, so it's like, yeah, there's gonna be more than one ultimate of something.
Correct.
And the reason I came to Havoc Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone. Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
in other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyogo's dad is Hope's Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster. No matter the cost. Kyogo, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point. When he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is it this? This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Havoc Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. So that right there looks like the first floor? Maybe? I don't know. Or is it the second? I don't know. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Oh yeah, then it might be the second floor. Some of the staff buzzes had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if it were true, that room would likely hold more clues. So I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So I went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
And once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is... The moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and no monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then, who did kill her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. And in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules. With that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim? I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... During the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. Which we should have locked it, but Makoto's an idiot! I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised. The dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not! It's not? No, it's not. If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. They're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Alright! Perfect! I was going to end off the episode as soon as we... soon, and this actually worked out perfectly. Anyways, I'm going to leave this off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye! It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. It's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room, along with the key. God, you're